Okay, so original audio will maybe be included in later clips. This depends on how long I rant on about this subject, but I would really love to talk about the new map and what's happening with that. And all the not patch notes, but everything that's going to be added with that and a lot more. So, starting off, as a lot of people probably know, we are getting a new map. They didn't do any clues this time. They just straight up told us the map. And that would be a New England map, which takes place in the Appalachian Mountains. So that's a little bit west of stuff like New York and Pennsylvania and Maine and around those places. Or at least I believe so. I could be wrong. But we're getting a New England map, and we are going to have, I think, 16 or 15 species. I've heard Scarecrow say 15 and Kill Clinton say 16. From what I've heard, we have Eastern Cottontail, Whitetail, Moose, Black Bear, Raccoon. There were raccoons. There are Goldeneye. There were a decent amount of species. There's pheasants, quail, a lot of stuff like that. Also, with this update, they will be adding colored peccary, or how they're properly pronounced, javelinas, to Parque Fernando. Pheasants will be added to Cuatro Colinas. On Medved, I am very excited for this. We will have not Western Capercaillies, but some type of Capercaillie. And we will also have a very exciting addition to Medved that I've been waiting for since I don't even know when, and that would be the Grey Wolf. Has finally come to Medved, and that will be coming with this update. Also, Pronghorn will be added to Rancho. Extremely excited about that. I believe pheasants will be added to Hirschfelten. And I'm assuming with this Grey Wolf add to Medved, that will also mean population resets on Yukon. There is Blacktail being added to Silver, which I am extremely excited for. We are getting I think it was Eastern Turkey are being added to. It was a type of turkey. I can't remember if it's Eastern Turkey or I believe it's Eastern Turkey, are being added to, Layton. We are getting Eastern Turkey on Layton. So on the new map, I just remembered a lot of the species. We are having whitetail, black bear, pheasants, quail, raccoons, gray fox, red fox, I've heard that there's going to be a new type of bobcat. Not sure what type. I'm not sure if it's just going to be a normal bobcat, because I'm assuming it won't be a Mexican bobcat. We're also getting lynx on the map, coyotes, and a few other species. But, yeah, that's what we're getting on the new map. Also, with this update will be coming weapon customization. So, with this weapon customization, we will be able to actually add skins and wraps to our guns. And we will actually be able to finally have our guns a camo that we want, or something similar to that. We are going to be able to add certain upgrades to are guns, and this will obviously cost in-game money. For a lot of the species, they are getting model resets. Alright, so basically what we know, Red Fox are getting a model rework. Whitetail are. I will throw a picture of them up on screen really quickly. So I will throw a quick picture of that up again. It'll be probably at the end of this clip. I'll just really quick throw one up. In my opinion, they look amazing, and this is the great one. We don't actually know what the normal racks look like yet. And there it is. And so moose are also getting a rework. Red Fox are getting a rework. I'm really hoping Blacktail are on that. I like the way that their fur looks and everything else. Their fur could be a bit more realistic looking, but the racks really don't do good for them. Like, they need to get that on top of that because the racks look horrible. I'd really like to see them change coyotes, because I hunt coyotes in real life, and when I tell you that they are not that small, and I'm sure almost all of you out there know that they are not even close to that small. They are quite big. They're not as small as a gray fox or a red fox, which is honestly sad that Hunter started off with that and has not made an attempt to fix it. But I really hope that they remodel those. Sorry, I have hiccups at the moment. But yeah, I do definitely think that they will be adding... Alright, so I believe I already said that there is a Great One Moose coming. And I love to... Oh, about this clip, by the way. I saw this level 9. And I thought it had just changed estimate and rack from leaving. But turns out that there were 2 9s next to each other, like side-to-side zones. Anyways. I was expecting something like Moose. I was definitely not hoping. Okay. Sorry. I was not looking forward to a Great One Moose, really, because I thought it was going to be a little bit more like the Great One Red Deer, where the small rack and big rack are almost not even tellable. I think the only reason I knew mine was a big rack was because of the estimate. But they informed us that there are going to be 5 different fur variants, like the black bear, and different rack shapes. So I really hope that they get this one right. And I know a lot of people are saying that they hope that they don't just release pictures of the great ones. And I honestly hope they do, because I am very impatient, and I would really like to see what they look like, instead of waiting for someone to find all 5 variants and different racks and everything. Look how long it took to find the red deer. That was a good, what, like 2 weeks? No, like week, right? Or at least week before I saw it. I was hoping more for a animal on the predator side, just because I think that'd be a different approach to go with something like a grizzly bear. Of course, with that being a grizzly bear, and I love that they did black bear, but I feel like black bear are very non-huntable at the moment, due to the black bears drinking at night on Layton and Silver. Kind of ruins the zone time for them. I think it was definitely much better when they had them drinking in the daytime on Silver, and they should have made that their universal time. But Hunter definitely goes with some very odd decisions when it comes to animals. Drink zones, and apparently links are getting worked on with this update. So I'm not sure if they're bringing back drink zones, what's happening with that, if they're remodeling them. I would love to see both of that happen. I love the links. But I was really hoping that they go in a more huntable predator species, especially with them adding wolves to Medved. I know I've said this in multiple videos. I'm very biased when it comes to the wolves, and that being a great one, and I think that a lot comes from all of my trophies being wolves, and all of my trophies being, like, all my favorite trophies being wolves. But I think a great one wolf would be something that's really cool, especially with what they're adding. And if they were to do something like add wolves to Layton, which would make a lot of sense, because if you think about it, Layton, if you look on your map, is in Montana region or Canadian region. I'm not exactly sure where it takes place, but Layton is more of the Canadian region. I'm assuming this New England will be around PA, again, New York, Maine, stuff like that. Kentucky, but I feel like black bears were a mistake for great ones, and I definitely think that if they were to go with a predator again, this time they should not make that same mistake, because I don't know about you guys, but I haven't seen a great one black bear posted since they first came out, really. As of recently, I haven't seen a single person post a great one black bear after after they patched that glitch. I knew some people that were saying that they got it legit during that glitch, and it was not true. During the Layton mission, Great One Black Bear glitch, I started to do the missions and then decided that I didn't want to get a Great One Black Bear in that form. So I think that they made a big mistake with the Great One Black Bear, and that they should have gone with, if they were doing a bear species, a grizzly bear or a brown bear, since they were adding it to Reventuli. But they went with black bear for some reason, and I think much better options would be wolves or grizzly bear, lions. And I know a lot of people are quite pissed about this New England map, but because our last few maps have been North American, aside from Finland. But I think, honestly, this whole update itself will change Hunter in a good way, because Hunter was really losing itself between... I don't know about you guys having this issue, but I've been trying to get my Great One Whitetail, and I have killed, since they have come out, over 20,000 whitetail that I have recorded. That was from when I started recording. So over Layton, when it was having the bug glitch where it wasn't spawning properly, to Rancho, to Mississippi, to Reventuli, I've killed over 20,000 whitetail, and still no Great One. And it's very hard to grind when half of my whitetail aren't coming in at all during their zone times. Half the zones don't even spawn whitetail, but the zones are still there. And I play on Xbox, so I am not able to do a population reset. But I think that this update will change Hunter for good, and I think they're finally stepping up their game, and it's good to see that they're actually doing stuff over at EW and not just sitting on their asses all day. Because that's honestly how I feel these last few maps have been. For example, or updates at least, Rancho got ruined with the recent updates, in my opinion. Mississippi wasn't the best map. Oh, By the way, we are also getting a green winged teal on Mississippi and mallards on Te Aurora. I forgot to mention those. I'm sorry about that. But I think this will permanently change Hunter for the better. And we are also... last thing about the new update. We are getting a new muzzleloader, a modern-day muzzleloader that takes the Argus and Hyperion and stuff like that. But back to what I was saying, this update is going to change Hunter for the better, for sure. And Hunter will definitely benefit from this and become a better game overall on what it is compared to what it is now, because Hunter's state now is definitely not the best state it's been in a while. Have a nice day. Okay, so little recap. I had fallen asleep after recording a lot of the audio for this video. And then when I woke up, there were a few things that I forgot to remember during this video. One of them being that Vurhonga is getting greater kudu. And I think that will definitely be changed for Vurhonga, being with how those are definitely the more greater version. And then there is for I'm sorry, I just woke up. For Hirschfelden, there are ringneck pheasants. Yukon is getting Canadian geese. Layton is getting turkey. Cuatro Colinas is also getting ringneck pheasants. So that will be a big change for Canadian geese on Yukon. I will be very interested to see, along with I would love to see some Canadian geese up in the burnt forest. I can't wait to see these greater kudu, especially up north. I'm hoping that we see them more by lakes than we see them by the river system, because I'm not a big fan of the river Vurhonga. And for the ringneck pheasants, those are going to be so much fun to hunt in Cuatro. Cuatro is such an open and beautiful map. I was looking at the map a little bit more. I rewatched the EW stream, and that map is so beautiful. It's like a Layton, Hirschfelden, Finland mix. It's just such a gorgeous map. Like, when I say it is gorgeous, that map is beyond compared to any map we have in Call of the Wild. It might even pull up off Yukon, possibly, because in my opinion, Yukon has some of the most beautiful terrain coming in from the long, vast river systems and the mountainy ranges, the snowy ranges, the burnt forests, the red leaves. It's just not leaves, but grass, and just such a beautiful map. And this new map is just gorgeous. It's a fall autumn based map. It is a absolute beauty to just see how much work they put into this map, and it's honestly amazing to see. And whenever I say that EW sits on their ass, I mean no disrespect at all to people like Jaxie or I'm sorry, my brain can't remember his name at the moment. TK, thank you. Yeah, there we go. And people like that. I mean, no disrespect to them, but EW has not been at the top of the game as of recently, ever since what they did to all the maps. I feel like the drink zones they destroyed. By the way, I forgot to mention, mountain lions are getting reworked. I'm not sure if that means the models are getting reworked, but it's guaranteed that the times are changing for these mountain lions so that they no longer have to drink with black bears, and they're on the new map, New England. There is going to be 3 different great ones you can hunt, and this map is absolutely monstrous between, black bears, and I can't even imagine seeing these great one moose. They're going to be very beautiful, although they're not what I was hoping to see for the new great one. It's very nice to see that they are listening to the community this time and actually giving us what we want, because I don't ever remember anyone asking for Mississippi, as well as that turned out. I remember us asking for Africa 2.0 and crocodiles, not alligators. But either way, it's also a very nice map. We are getting, I believe I already mentioned this, but waterfowl on Mississippi. Red fox remodels, I already talked about this. And I did go back and confirm that there is going to be a species of bobcat, and I'm assuming it's just going to be some weird-ass name like Eastern bobcat or something like that. But either way, that's extremely exciting to see bobcat, whitetail, coyote, red fox, gray fox. It really does give off a Kentucky, Maine type vibe, because I think this is like more based off Minnesota. Now looking at some of the graphical features and stuff like that about this map, I think this is definitely more based off of somewhere like Minnesota, thinking about the species on this map. And the last thing I would like to mention is that they are making it so moose can go aggressive, which I find extremely interesting. Alright, so little update for the 3rd time about this new update in the new map. We are not getting greater kudu, and we are not getting blacktail on Silver Ridge Peaks. With this information, it makes me think, because there's no way you misread something that says greater kudu, so that obviously gives out a hint for possibly a new map into the future, or addition onto a new map. Addition onto a existing map at the moment, such as greater kudu on Virunga, or such as a Africa 2.0. The blacktail, again, there's no reason, maybe they pulled that last second, but I don't know how he misread that. They might have pulled that, again, I think that they might have just pulled it. They could be aiming at a remodel for them, and that's something that he read, and he read it as they're adding it to silver, and it's actually a remodel is what is happening with them due to the red fox and moose and whitetail getting remodeled. That could be a very big possibility as well. But that's personally what I think about this whole situation. It's quite annoying to see that they pulled blacktail from silver, because blacktail on silver makes sense, seeing how it looks. It looks like a Oregon, like Montana, around their map, but they don't really have a listing on where it belongs. And it's weird because mule deer blacktail are just a subspecies of mule deer. So you would have thought that they would have been adding them to silver, and that would have been really cool, but I guess they must, from looking at it, they would have had to add Sika blacktail, which is kind of annoying. And I think that was just too much work with everything that they've done. It would have been a boring diamond because of how small they are. It's just not worth the trouble of going through all that. Alright, that is the last update for this.